Welcome to the Dirt Poor Jesters podcast, your home for dirt track racing across the country and right here in Southwest Ohio. This is Josh, joined by EJ. It's episode 80. Get the F out of here. Speedweeks and Waynesfield Raceway Park. I hope you guys are ready to get dirty. This week in dirt racing history, we're going back to May 3rd of 2014 at Eldora Speedway for the World of Outlaws Sprint Cars. David Gravel gets the win, Darren Pittman in second, and Randy Hannigan rounds out the podium. Go back and check this out. Go to my race pass and check out the field for this race. I mean, it is the guys that were getting older and getting ready to wrap up their career, Sammy and Steve. And then there were the young guns, as you could see here, David Gravel grabbing the win. Heck of a field there at Eldora Speedway for the May 3rd, 2014 race.
Let me talk to you.
This week's Talking Points, breaking news right before EJ and I jump on. Kasey Kahne is going to pilot the 39M for 10 races. We know Macary's out. EJ and I were talking about it. He got hurt in that crash last year at Eldora and hurt again this year. A back's not something you want to mess with, especially when it's obviously dealing with the spine. I don't know how long he's going to be out, but it's better to be safe than sorry on this one. EJ, Kasey Kahne jumping in 39M. I think that's going to be pretty interesting. I think I was secretly a Kasey Kahne fan when he was running. I would love to see him hop in that car. I mean, you know, I don't know if a win is realistic. I guess it depends on what schedule they decide they're going to run. But some good finishes from Kasey Kahne while he's in that 39M. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, definitely. Kasey Kahne, I feel like he hasn't really raced a sprint car since he got out of his own car. With Anthony Macri, his back, I was telling you before we started, I feel like he injured it in the same place he did last year. And yeah, it's definitely an interesting combination. I still don't think Kasey Kahne's got a national touring win, but we all know the 39M is not really a national touring team. And I could see Kasey Kahne going out to PA and stuff and picking up a few. I mean, there's some tough competition out there and a bunch of weekly racers, but he's in good equipment and they know how to get the job done out there. So, yeah, we'll see what happens, and glad to see Kasey Kahne back in the car.
Yeah, I'm excited for that, and hope he gets the results he's looking for in that 39M. Going through some of my racing podcast here recently, and just got caught up with talking with Tony on the Drivers Project 3 weeks ago. Drivers Project is definitely one of my go-to podcasts. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. Those guys always put out great stuff. But talking with Tony Laporta with High Limit, Tony and Daryl talk about how sprint car drivers must use their senses more than other drivers because they don't have spotters or mirrors. I've known that. I don't know. I guess I didn't really put a whole lot of thought into it, honestly. Like, we already know the machines are awesome, you know, a higher power to weight ratio than an F1 car. It's just, when you think of that, they're already badass machines, but then you put in the fact that that's true. They don't have mirrors. They don't have spotters to rely on. Something I think we all know. I guess I just don't know that I put a whole lot of thought into it, but what makes those machines and those drivers even more badass? You know, just, I can't say enough about sprint car racing and how much I love it. I know you're in the same boat as I am, EJ. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I mean, you summed it up pretty good, man. It's bad to the bone. The guys that do it's bad to the bone. I'm fired up for this weekend, man. So, you know, you just got me even more pumped. I'm really excited, man. I work up today. I was exercising more, working out more. It's going to be a big week here in Ohio, Josh.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, man. I'm definitely excited for that. And yeah, my boy's in the state, man. He's ready to take care of business, and I'm ready to do this today, buddy. I wish we was going today. That's really all I got to say about that, because you just got me going.
I know we're going to touch on it there at the end when we talk about the racing to come. You've got big plans this weekend.
Yeah.
I might actually get to the track this weekend, so we're both looking to get to the track. It's always a good time when you can get to the racetrack. Moving on, Illinois Late Model Speed Week. EJ, fill us in.
Yeah, so Josh, Tuesday, May 5th, they're going to LaSalle there in Illinois, Illinois Speed Week. So the Speedway with the opening round of the Illinois Speed Week. So they're going to LaSalle on May 5th. Then they continue on May 6th. They're going to Spoon River there in Banner before rolling into Lincoln, Illinois, that is. And on Thursday, May 7th, they're going over to Farmers City Speedway, and Fairbury will wrap up Illinois Speed Week Friday and Saturday, May 8th and 9th.
Nice. Illinois Late Model Speed Week. It's May 5th through the 9th, and they're paying out some big money too, EJ.
Yeah, I see that. It looks like May 5th through the 7th, the Flow Racing Night in America events, they're each paying $20,000 to win. It looks like May 8th at Farmer City is $25,000. And then on May 9th at Fairbury, American Legion Speedway, I'd love to get there. $30,000 to win that one, Josh. So, yeah, like you said, a lot of big money on the line that week. That's exciting to see.
Yeah, I know it'll be good racing over there in Illinois, and really kind of surprising to see a Speed Week getting started this soon. But it's about the same time they did it last year, and racing is upon us here in the good old US of A.
Yeah, good luck with weather this time of year too.
Yeah, definitely.
The 2026 edition of USAC NOS Energy Drink Indiana Sprint Week, presented by K&N Filters, just got even better. It looks like it's going to be $10,000 to win each night, $25,000 to win the championship that week, and over a $50,000 total point fund. Indiana Sprint Week 2026 consists of an all-time record of 9 events at 9 different racetracks. That's awesome. Across a 10-night span. And it's going to run between July 23rd and August 1st. Like on July 23rd that week, they're going to be at the dirt track at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. They're in Speedway, Indiana. That is a 5th mile. Next day, July 24th, they'll be at Lincoln Park Speedway in Putnamville. It's a 5/16 mile. July 25th, they're going to Kokomo, and that's a 1/4 mile. July 26th, over to Lawrenceburg in Lawrenceburg, Indiana for a 3/8 mile track. We just got out to that track, and that was awesome. July 27th, Circle City Raceway in Indianapolis. That's a 1/4 mile. July 29th at Paragon. That's a 3/8 mile. Terre Haute Action Track in Terre Haute for the Don Smith Classic. That's a 1/2 mile. July 31st, Bloomington Speedway for the Sheldon Kinzer Memorial 1/4 mile track. Tri-State Speedway in Hobstadt for the championship finale on August 1st. That looks pretty exciting, Josh. And yeah, I just got out to my first track out there in Indiana. Have you been to any of the other ones here?
Yeah, so obviously we're at Lawrenceburg. I've been there multiple times. Been to Lincoln Park. Really like Lincoln Park. I haven't been able to cross off any of the other ones. Circle City's not that far away. I just haven't really. I haven't made it there. I'd like to get over to Tri-State. The dirt track at IMS, I mean, who wouldn't want to go check that out? Kokomo. My brother doesn't live terribly far from there, but I haven't had a chance to make it there yet either. I mean, I wouldn't mind hitting up all those tracks. Again, Indiana Sprint Week in 2026, 9 events, 9 different tracks across 10 nights, July 23rd through August 1st, $10,000 to win each night. It's going to be, as always, something you got to see.
Absolutely.
Mansfield Speedway is moving up and moving on. They've been doing a lot of work out there. EJ, I know you've seen it. I've seen it. They're good on social media, and they've been staying on top of that stuff. Everything they've done out there, they've hired a full-time race director, and it is none other than Larry Bowes. Larry Bowes, if you've been around dirt racing at all as a fan, certainly, you know, drivers, promoters, track owners, you know Larry. Larry's been around racing for a long time. I've had a chance to talk to Larry here and there. The guy loves racing. I mean, there's no way to argue that. And him as a full-time race director there will take some of the load off and let them run Mansfield Speedway the way it needs to be run. Good hire there with Larry Bowes, and interesting to see. It won't be long. Mansfield Speedway kicking the gates open once again. Waynesfield is said to be down to 2 races for 2026. They ran once in 2025. I don't know if this trend continues. They won't run at all, and it's going to be a cornfield like the plan was before Larry Bowes stepped in. That's my concern. I've been to Waynesfield plenty of times. I think Rich Farmer has plans for it. Otherwise, I don't believe he would have stepped in. But it's concerning when you run once in 25, and now it looks like only twice in 2026. And I know the second race is in October. Was hoping to see 5 or 6 races there at Waynesfield this year. I thought they always had decent car counts, and the fans would turn out. At least the times I were there were fans there. But if you run once or even twice a year, I'm not sure what kind of track you can expect, and I'm not sure if you can expect folks to show up if you're only going to run once or twice a year. It's not ideal, in my opinion. I don't know if you've had a chance to get to Waynesfield, EJ, but I think it's a pretty cool track. I'm not a fan of the way the wall is there in 3, because 1 and 2 is open, the back stretch is open, and then as you enter 3, there's a partial wall up the track. I've seen a couple guys nail that. There's tires there, but still, it's a little scary, but the track itself is cool. You know, the fighter jets in the gymnasium definitely applies when you get the 410 sprint cars there at Waynesfield. So I don't think running once or twice a year, you know, we're 2 years into this now. I'm not sure how that's going to work out moving forward to 2027. Hopefully the 2 races they have this year are good ones, and Waynesfield can get back up and running. Port Royal Speedway officials, alongside the PA Sprint Series, handed down penalties for Saturday night, April 18th Victory Lane incident involving driver Nick Swigert. Inappropriate derogatory language during his Victory Lane interview directed at track and staff. Now, not all that was. I've got a lot of thoughts on this. I understand the penalty, you know. And I'm not going to say that I cuss like a sailor or that I've got the cleanest mouth in the world, but there's a time and a place, and you got to know that time and that place. As far as talking about the track and things like that, I mean, the track doesn't want that. You know, was that the case? Did other guys feel that way about the track? Like, to me, that's a little bit different. You know, I think the cursing really is, especially the F-bomb multiple times. That's probably really what made this happen. But the ruling was a year suspension from Port Royal. He was stripped of the win, the points, and prize money. And he might even get some additional sanctions from IMCA Racehaver sprint competition. I understand some kind of discipline here, EJ, but a whole year, I think it's way too much. Yeah. Danny Dietrich I've seen, you know, there's been obviously some chatter about this. He said 3 or 4 months would have done the job. I don't disagree with that. And there were even some other drivers that kind of agreed with Danny on that one. But you know, you've always got to have that thought. what if this is another driver? What if this is a bigger name? Now, be that as it may, they probably aren't necessarily putting themselves in that situation. They're probably not dropping 3 F-bombs, but if you get a driver that's fired up and he's talking stuff about the track and maybe it's rightfully so, like, how would that have been handled? That's what I'm curious about in all this. I think a year's too long, and I'm not sure it would have been handled the same way if that name was different. What do you think about that, EJ?
Yeah, the year is very stiff. They've been on a lot of big stuff out there in Pennsylvania. Last year with the car going the wrong way on the track, I don't even remember who the guy was, but I think he ended up hitting somebody under caution or something, and then they suspended him from, I think, pretty much all the tracks out there. So they're not playing around as far as the rules and stuff, and you said it best, Josh. There's a time and place. Racetracks are supposed to be a family place. I mean, you can't go on there repeatedly, dropping F-bombs and stuff. And it's towards track officials and the people run the track. So that's just not good timing to be doing stuff like that. And, it's a bonehead move on his part. But, yeah, I see the year being a little too long.
Yeah, I agree with you. A lot of people, I think, are in that same boat. Interesting circumstances. You talk about the car going the wrong way on the track. That's a whole different ball of wax. But this here, like I said, time and a place. I don't agree with it. I think it's too long. I'm going to guess other people have taken note, though, and it's probably done exactly what Port Royal wanted it to do.
I drank a beer. I drank another beer. 3 beers. 4 beers. Oh, no.
We go to our race recap. So April 21st, high limit racing at Eagle Raceway was on FS1. We saw Payday Corey Day pick up the win. Brad Sweet in second. Tanner Thorson in third. On April 22nd at Atomic Speedway in Ohio, we've seen the modifieds Landon Barker take the win. Danny Moore in second, Anthony Slusher in third. The Sport Mods, Jeff Conrad picked up the win, JD Broughton second, and Jacob Castle rounded out the podium. Legends, Glenn Mitchell with the win, Ryan Swisshelm in second, and Christopher Parker in third. We go to April 24th at Big O Speedway for the Power Ride 410s. Howard Moore picking up your win, Colton Fisher in second, and Blake Kahn in third. Over to Brownstown for Mars late models. Turns 1 and 2 was full of a bunch of holes, and there was even 1 or 2 over in 3. It's a pretty rough track that night. Cowboy up. We've seen the Reaper Ryan Gustin take the win. Jake Little in second, and Tanner English in third.
Yeah, I don't know, EJ, if you saw that race or not. Holy cow.
Yeah.
I mean, especially in 1 and 2. Those guys were hopping. Like, I'm surprised you didn't roll some cars as bad as some of them were hopping through there.
Yeah, that was my exact feeling with 1 and 2. It was really rough, and then you see it start to form down there in 3 too, and yeah, it was definitely Cowboy up that night. So we go over to Carolina Speedway for the USCS. We've seen Cohen McDaniel pick up the win. Lance Moss in second, and Tyler Blankenship in third. A buddy of the podcast, Baker River Racing, Adrian Tetrol was a hard charger. Like I said, that's a buddy of the Dirt Court Jester, so good job for him. We go over to Georgetown for the Lucas Oil late models. We've seen Devin Moran with the win, Hudson O'Neill in second, and Max Blair round out your podium. We're going to go to Knoxville for the World of Outlaw Sprint Cars. We've seen the Big Cat back in victory lane. Are we going to see him do something at Eldora this year? I haven't heard if he's coming or not, Josh.
I think that was one of the races I've heard him say he will be at, because I thought when all this happened at the beginning, I didn't think we would see him at Eldora, but it's the King's Royal, and the Big Cat is going to be there in that slick ride with Paul Silva on the wrenches. So
Watch
I don't
out.
know, man. He's looking pretty good in that car. Let's be honest, between him and Kyle Larson, when they hop in that car and Paul's wrenching on it,
yeah,
they both look pretty solid.
Did you hear his interview that night, poking shots at the World of Outlaws?
Yeah.
So, yeah, Brad Sweet with your win there. David Grabble in second and Ryan Timms in third. JJ Hickle with the Drivers Project. I'm sure they're all proud of him. He was quick in practice. Then he broke the 15-second mark in qualifying, Josh. With all that, he has to be thrilled with a top 5 finish there at Knoxville.
Yeah, listen, it's good seeing that. Again, Drivers Project, like one of my favorite. Love listening to those guys. JJ Hickle's on there, and they look good. You got to be real happy with the way that weekend went for that team. Second night, obviously not as good as the first night, but nevertheless, good to see JJ Hickle running towards the front there with the Outlaws at Knoxville.
Yep, nice run for JJ. We move over to Ohio Valley Speedway for the WRA Young Guns. We've seen Ethan Conrad pick up the win, Carly Carpenter in second, Hudson Burdett in third. That was the A feature. There was 2 features that night. So for the B feature, we've seen Colson Carpenter pick up the win, Jalen Varian in second, and Gunnar Carroll in third. In the mini wedges, Jack Richards with the win, Bentley Parsons in second, and Jace Varian in third. The late models seen Tyler Carpenter pick up the win, Zach Milby in second, and Thomas Baker in third. The super late models, Tyler Carpenter with the win, Ronnie Mail in second, and Corey Miller in third. The modifieds, we've seen Vince Conrad pick up the win, Kenny Johnson in second, and Mitchell Lamb in third. I'm not sure. The sport mods, Kevin Wills with the win, Casey Rankin in second, and Nathan Drake in third. The SCDRA 4-cylinders, Adam Phillips with the victory, Bailey Miller in second, and Charles Atkinson in third. We go to the US MTS Modifieds out in Scotland County. Tanner Mullins with the win, Reese Solander in second, and Justin Zeitner in third. Brandon Davis went from 25th to 5th in that race. Ridiculous.
Moving. Brandon Davis moving to the front. Moving to April 25th at Brownstown, the Sling and Dirt late models, Derek Groomer with the win, Matt Bokenk in second, and Tyler Collins in third. Crystal Motor Speedway had GLSS, where Zane DeVault got the win, Dustin Daggett in second, and Van Gurley Jr. in third. Florence. In the late models, Trent Green gets the win, Josh Dietz in second, and Nicholas Bird in third. Sport Mod, Stephen Holton gets the win, Andrew Corbin in second, and Andy Clower in third. The Crown Vics, the top 4, all Cranmers. But in the end, Brandon Cranmer gets the win. The Cranmers dominating in the Crown Vics. They're at Florence. And the Legends, Steve Parton gets the win, Glenn Mitchell in second, and Quentin Adams in third. Steve Duderistat, I think I said that right, from 21st to 4th. Fremont and the AFCS 410s, Cale Thomas gets the win, Darren Knight in second, and Bryce Lucius in third at AFCS 305. Brian Sabato gets the win, Steve Rando in second, and Paul Weaver in third. In trucks, Keith Sorg gets the victory, Sean Valeni in second, and Jamie Miller in third. Montpelier and the USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets get their season started. And in the feature, Matt Lux goes from 7th to 1st on the opening lap, and he would get the victory. It wasn't easy. He had to battle for it, but Matt Lux gets the win. Cole Kirkman in second, and another friend of the show, Gunnar Lucius, rounds out the podium in the modifieds. Dylan Newsbaum gets the win. Dalton Smith in second, and Tristan Chamberlain in third. And the stocks, another one, Tony Anderson, T-Bone, he gets the win. Irvin Turner in second, and Nick Bowers in third. Hornets, Brian Isley gets the win. Scott Harrington in second, and Bub Henderson. If there was anybody ever named to be a race car driver, it was Bub Henderson. Bub Henderson rounds out the podium there with the Hornets.
That's a good name, man. I like that a lot. Yeah. Let's go out to Muskingum County, Josh. I made this race. It was really dirty from the start, really dusty. Muskingum was, I think, Fremont was the only other track in the state to run, and if I'm not mistaken, everywhere else canceled. But
right,
yeah, it didn't appear like they got a whole ton of rain there, and it's like they lost the water truck for a while or something. You even heard some drivers get out in interviews like, "Hey, I couldn't see anything." But yeah, we go out to Muskingum County Speedway. It was my second time out there. For the Fast 410 Gladiator Sprints, we seen Joel Myers Jr. pick up the win. Tyler Street in second. He started in 10th. And then Nate Dussel round out the podium.
Was there a good crowd there at Muskingum County, and did you get anything from the concession stand?
There was a really, really nice crowd there, and I figured there would be with everywhere else canceling. And honestly, Josh, I was hoping that day to get down to Skyline for the first time, which I'm hoping to do sometime this year, soon. Yes, I did, because you could definitely smell it sitting in the bleachers. They got some fire cheeseburgers.
Okay.
I got a slice of their pizza. They got a new thing going on with, man, I hate to lie. I feel like it's the barn there in Zanesville that they just partnered up with. They got some really good pizza. So I had that. And then they had another a food truck there, and I got a steak on the stick.
Oh, man.
So yeah, it was some pretty impressive stuff, and it was a good meal.
There you go.
Have you been to Muskingum yet?
I have not. I have not made it
Okay.
out there. Always up for hitting new tracks, just have not had the chance to get there.
They got that big late model race there, the Dirt Cup.
Yep.
So maybe you could get to that. We're gonna move over to Knoxville with the World of Outlaw Sprint Cars. David Gravel with the win. Carson Macedo in second. Ryan Timms in third. And David Gravel is still up on the podium again after all that, sweet talk from the big cat. But stuff happens.
Yeah.
We're gonna move over to Kokomo for the Kokomo Grand Prix. This was their opener, right?
Yeah, so it was supposed to be Friday, Saturday, and they ended up having to push it Saturday, Sunday. Yep.
Sunday. Yep. So we seen Justin Grant pick up your win. Zach Weigel in second, and Jacob Denny round out the podium from 19th. The non-wing sprint seen Robert Ballou, the Madman, take the win. KTJ, Kevin Thomas Jr., was second, and Trey Osborne, too tall, in third. Lawrenceburg for the IMCA 305 sprints. Bradley Geldridge with the win. Dylan Baldwin in second, and Dean Barnes in third. Ashton Thompson, awesome young lady racer, man. She went from 18th to 5th, so a nice run for her. Your mod seen Justin Clark pick up the win, Matt Hamilton in second, and Daniel Daner in third. The stock seen Will McRoberts pick up the win, Ashton Cohey in second, and Don Grace in third. The Hornets, Landon Ramirez in first, Caleb Humphreys in second, Alex West in third. Lincoln Park for the season opener for the non-wing 410s, Jaden Rogers in first, Shane Cottle in second, and Chance Crum round out your podium. Hunter Maddox with a nice fourth-place run is definitely notable in that race. Your mod seen Derek Losh pick up the win, Tyler Lowmiller in second, and Cody Wright in third. In the stocks, Lee Hobbs picked up the win, Matt Raber in second, and Devin Wallen in third. The Bombers seen Sheldon Oberly pick up the win, Josh Foxworthy in second, and Katie Grigsby in third. Mud Lake Valley for the Super Lates, Justin Cooper picked up the win in the UMP late. Wait, that's modifieds. Jimmy Lennox Jr. picked up the win, and KDRA picked BJ Branham got your win. In the sport mods, Connor McKenzie picked up the victory in the Hornets. Jackson Ingram, his first feature win. And then the Crown Vics, Chris Shelton Jr. with the win. Peoria with the Mars Late models. Looks like an awesome track there. Ryan Unziker was too fast, and he won his fifth. Gary
Swibel Memorial.
Gary Swibel Memorial.
Five of them bad boys for Ryan Unziker, and I don't know if you caught any of that, but they just couldn't catch him. I mean, it looked like at one point they might catch up to him, and then I think there was a caution kind of later on in the race, and he took off, and there was no looking back for Ryan Unziker.
Yeah, I definitely seen the highlights of that. He picked up the win. Frankie Heckenass Jr. in second, and Dennis Erb Jr. in third. We're going to go to Scotland County for the John Fuller Memorial with the USMTS Modifieds. Cade Dillard with the win. Tanner Mullins in second, Reese Salander in third. Terry Phillips was up 16 spots in that one. April 26th at Hagerstown. I'm not even going there because I don't know how to say it, but it's the 40 for the Lucas Oil Late models. We got Brandon Shepard with the win, Brandon Overton in second, Hudson O'Neill in third.
You know what? And I just want to give a shout out real quick. I really appreciate that Budweiser ride that Brandon Overton is driving.
Yeah, man, that thing is so slick, and they just redid it too, and that thing is
I thought it was different than what it had started out as a seat, and I thought it was cool then, but
yeah,
I don't know. There's something nostalgic about beer and cigarette sponsors in racing. I don't know what it is, but that Budweiser ride of Brandon Overton's is pretty cool.
Yeah, that thing's sharp. You didn't want to say the C word there that I left out, or what, Josh?
No, because let's see. It's Kanakochiga.
There you go.
Is that close, you think?
I
don't know. It doesn't matter. Brandon Shepard got the win.
Yeah. All right, we're going to go over to Kokomo again for the Kokomo Grand Prix for the USAC Midgets. Jacob Boxell sets quick time on the night.
Kind of biased. Had Jacob on here a couple times, so anytime he's racing, really like to watch him. Was hoping to see him finish up towards the front that night, and there was at one point where Justin Grant
tried to spin him
around
out.
him. He just couldn't get around him and literally tried to run to the back of him and spin him out as they were coming out of four. And it didn't work, but Grant would obviously get around him there towards the end. But always fun to see Jacob running. Good kid, hard worker, races hard, and excited to see what the future brings for Jacob Boxell.
Absolutely. We seen Jacob Denny pick up the win there. Gavin Miller in second. Kevin Thomas Jr. in third. Your non-wing 410s, Kyle Cummins with the win. The Madman Robert Ballou in second. And Jaden Rogers rounded out the podium.
Now we're talking about racing to come. We're recording this on Monday, April 27th. Tomorrow, Tuesday, April 28th, Arrowhead Speedway is going to have high limit. Independence Motor Speedway is going to have the World of Outlaw late models. Wednesday, April 29th, Atomic doing their workers, man. Wednesday night race with the modified sport mods and legends. Thursday, April 30th, Mississippi Thunder Speedway is going to have the World of Outlaw late models. Texas Motor Speedway is going to have high limit. Friday, May 1st, Attica and the Kistler Engines Classic with the World of Outlaw sprint cars, as well as 305 sprints. Bloomington and USAC sprints. Circle City with Luke Soil late models. Hilltop's going to have their season opener late models, modifies, mod lights, mini stocks, sport mods, Crown Vics, and 270 winged micros there at Hilltop. Lineland in the season opener with GLSS, modifieds, and stocks. Mississippi Thunder with the World of Outlaw late models. Moeller Raceway with late models, modifieds, sport mods, compacts, and legends. Ohio Valley Speedway is going to have $1,000 to win for SCDRA, modifieds, sport mods, mini wedges, and super late models as well. Route 66 with USMTS. Thunderhill Raceway is going to have USCS. US 36 with Power Eye War Sprints. Watsonville is going to have NARC. Why Not Motorsports Park with Hunt the Front for night number 1. And Williams Grove with the PA Posse 410 and 358 sprints.
Also, Josh, here we go on to Saturday, May 2nd, Butler Speedway for opening night. 410 wing sprints, UMP modified, street stocks, and 4 cylinders. Brownstown will have the Super Stock Special, the Scott Patman Memorial. Late models, Super Stocks, Pure Stocks, Hornets, and Crown Vics. Clay Hill Motorsports Park in Tennessee, $1 night in the grandstands. Eldora with family night with fireworks and drone show with the USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets, mods, and stocks. You said you might make this?
Yeah, it just depends. Right now, trying to get to Montpelier, follow the bars there in that 21B non-wing 410. They got a win there last year at Montpelier. Had a rough go there at Lincoln Park, tore up a motor, had to swap motors out. So they got a different motor in the car. They got a new car they're working on that they got this year. They got a win at Montpelier last year, so hopefully get back there and watch them have another good finish at Montpelier. If for some reason we can't make that, Eldora is definitely on the list.
Yeah. I hope you get out there and do that too, man, because I like to see the bars doing good.
Yeah.
Florence here on May 2nd for the 40th annual Ralph Latham Memorial for the Lucas Oil late models. Goods Raceway opening night, weekly racing plus quads. Hendry County with the Top Gun sprints. Knoxville 73rd season opener, free grandstand admission as well as parking. If you guys are out there in Iowa and you're not going to the track, what's wrong with you? You got 410 sprints, you got 360 sprints. Get to the track.
Mm-hmm.
Mansfield with the comeback classic, like we was talking earlier. I'm excited to see. They got some awesome lights and stuff set up. They got it looking real nice there. They're going to have the American Late Model Ironman Series. 5,000 to win for the dirt late models, 5,000 for sprint cars to win. And it looks like they got UMP mods on the car there too. $2,000 to win. So they're paying a lot of good money on their comeback. Mississippi Thunder Speedway for the Dairyland Showdown. We got the World of Outlaw late models. Montpelier sees the GLTS, the stocks, and the Hornets. Route 66 is the USMTS modifieds. Santa Clara Speedway sees the NARC sprint cars. Sharon Speedway in Hartford, Ohio sees the World of Outlaws. Let's go, Sheldon, Josh. Man, I can't wait. To the pod. Sweet Springs Motorsports Complex sees a Power Ride Midgets that same day. Texas Motor Speedway sees High Limit. Thunderhill sees the USCS. The Class Track Tri-State Speedway with USAC. Tyler County, ULMS, Earl Hill Topless 50, which is the Ultimate Late Model Series. And they got the modified Topless 30 there as well. Wilmot Raceway sees a IRA Sprints. Why Not Motorsports Park sees Hunt the Front. On Sunday, May the 3rd, at BAPS, we'll have 410s and Super Sportsman. And United Destruction there at Mansfield, which will be part of their comeback classic, really. Can't wait to get back up there. I've been there once before they closed. And then, the last race here, we got West Virginia Motor Speedway with the American Late Model Ironman Series. And that wraps up our racing to come, Josh. It's exciting.
Yeah, it's here. Everybody's getting their gates kicked open finally. We're rolling into May. The weather had broke, and now it's going the other direction, but it's Ohio. It'll change. Hopefully, I'm getting to Mount Peter this Saturday. If I can't make it there, Eldora is where I will be. EJ, I know you got big plans of getting to the track and camping. You're going to see the Outlaws twice this weekend.
Yep.
So I'm sure you're excited about that. I'm sure the boys are pumped for that. Any last words before we wrap it up?
Yeah, Josh, I think so, man. It was another successful podcast. It's good to, come on here every once in a while and talk racing with you, man. And I'm excited for this weekend. And let's go Sheldon Hansfield.
Way to wrap it up, EJ. Everybody like, follow, subscribe, and share. We're on Facebook, X, YouTube, and Spotify. Thanks for the support, and we hope to see you guys at the track.